Alright, so our next exercise is what visitors want. Learn how to provide your visitors with everything they need. Hi, my name is Jane Powers, and I'm your Public Relations Manager. It's my job to make sure that our visitors enjoy their time in your park and leave feeling happy and satisfied. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you all about our visitors and how to ensure that Jurassic Park meets their expectations. There's a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. I know this might seem obvious, but you must open the park entrance before visitors can start enjoying your park. Let's head over there now and get this show on the road.
Hi there.
Alright, so we are here at the park entrance, and we really only have two options here. That's of course the park status and the entry fee. So we're at the very beginning of our park. We have no star rating or anything yet, so leaving it at 200 is probably a good idea. We do see that we have some potential upgrades over here, but we haven't earned them yet. Let's just set the park to
Great
open.
idea.
Now, if we check the park, it will tell us how many visitors we have, how crowded we are, we're not crowded at all, and the time to arrival. So right now we're just in progress of having our visitors come. Fantastic! The first group of visitors is now on their way.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to declare the newest wonder of the modern world, Jurassic Park. Now open.
Congratulations on opening the park. You've got the potential to make Jurassic Park the greatest theme park in the history of the world. So you can see there's like these two helipads back here. Well, here's the helicopter bringing our guests. Here they come, the first group of visitors. You can learn a lot from visitors by observing the thoughts above their heads, or by selecting them and examining their passports. Why don't you give it a try now? Alright, so a couple of visitors are going to come right through these gates here. Maybe like a little family of four. Now right now there's nothing popping up over their heads, but sometimes there'll be like little thought balloons that'll give you a clue as to what they're thinking. So let's click on this little lady, I guess. And we're going to click on her passport. Alright, this is Pia from Mississippi. She is a fun lover. She has $170 on her. She's not feeling great about the security, and she thinks it's not bad. And right now she has no dino score. She has seen nothing. And she has nothing to say about the dinosaurs. When you examine the visitors' passports, you should have noticed there are different types of visitors. This is an important factor to consider when you are managing your park. Different visitor types will get excited by different things. We will come back to this later in the tutorial. Yeah, in her case, she's a fun lover. So that means she's here to see the dinosaurs have fun. But Rachel over here, she's a thrill seeker. That means she wants to see the predators in action. The most important thing to remember now is that your visitors expect two things. They want to be comfortable and they want to be entertained. Let's start by making sure that the park has everything they need to feel comfortable. If visitors are staying for any length of time in your park, sooner or later they're going to get hungry. Hungry visitors will quickly become unhappy if they do not find a kiosk in your park. Let's give your visitors somewhere to buy some food. From the manager menu, select Build, then Amenities, and there you will find kiosks. Please build one kiosk. Alright, so let's leave this girl alone. We go to the Build menu. Down here we have our Amenities. And we want a kiosk. These stores will sell food and drinks to your visitors. Alright, so there's our footprint of where we would be placing it. And we can really place it anywhere, but it kind of needs to be on a path. So let me see. I'm going to plan ahead a little bit. And I'm going to put our kiosk right here. Great. That kiosk will definitely keep our visitors from starving. Don't forget that you can change the price and the type of food by selecting the kiosk and altering the menu. After a satisfying After a satisfying meal at one of your kiosks, the visitors will appreciate a conveniently placed restroom. It doesn't take too much thought to imagine how unhappy your visitors will get if they cannot find a restroom in your park. I think you better do something. Some of your visitors are starting to look very uncomfortable. Please return to the amenities menu and build one restroom. Alright, well, before we do that, let's look at the kiosk real fast. So we have the choice of meals, sides, and how much we charge. Right now we have a sandwich, and they cost $5 each. We could also do Dino Dogs for 10 and Rex Burgers for 15. I have not noticed that if particular customers have a particular preference for their meal, but what I tend to do is sort of theme it. So I'll keep like hamburgers closer to the predators, and I'll keep sandwiches closer to the herbivores. And the sides, to my knowledge, haven't really affected anything much either. What I usually like to do is combine burgers with fries, as you would expect, and uh, sandwiches with salads. It just seems to fit. And sometimes I'll do hot dogs with chili. Now, if a Rex burger costs 15 and we're selling it for 10, we're losing money. So I usually just go for a round double. Let's build our restroom. We're going to build it right next to the kiosk. Alright, anything to say about that? Good job. Your visitors are already starting to look relieved. Let's consult our research team and find out more what they can do to make our visitors feel more comfortable. Hello, I'm Dr. Henry Rue. Here at JP Research, our marketing team has plenty of bright ideas for improving visitor services. Please head over to the research department now. Well, we're going to go to the restroom first.
Hello.
There's not a lot to do with the restroom, but if we really wanted to, we could charge a fee for people to use the restroom. Now, I never do that. I never find a need for it. But maybe you're desperate for a little money, so... Alright, so research.
Hey.
Thanks for getting here so quickly. Both the amenities and the attraction departments have a range of great ideas for keeping our visitors happy. All they need is your approval, and then they'll start work immediately. Jane says that you've been learning about how to make our visitors more comfortable. I think the amenities department might have something to help you out. I looked over the weather forecast this morning, and it appears that we have some wet weather coming our way. Please research the weather guard before all your visitors get drenched in the rain. So this is our first time really taking a look at the research menu here. Our research are upgrades that sort of help our visitors, our buildings, and our dinosaurs. So we have the amenities, the attractions, the dinosaurs, the security, the rangers, and the vaccines. Right now there are no vaccine options for this tutorial. But over here in amenities, we have the weather guard. Umbrellas for visitors and enhanced protection against lightning for structures and fences. It's going to cost us $500 to research this, and it will take us a month before we can use it. But by getting this, our visitors will not get as upset walking around in the rain, and our buildings will be more resilient to lightning strikes. Excellent. You should get back to the park now. The weather guard will be ready pretty quickly. Welcome back. While you were gone, I couldn't help but notice that your park is starting to look very dirty. You should do something to clean up your act before our visitors start to complain. Let's see what the park administrator thinks. It hasn't come up yet, but the game does have weather effects that will influence behavior and events. So, like for example, we just started researching the weather guard. So when it rains or it storms, that will make it more comfortable for visitors. Hi, good to see you again. Jane tells me you need some help with keeping your park clean. Taking a quick look around your park, I'd have to agree. Hate to see what your house looks like. Now, unless you're trying to win an award for the most untidy park, you will need to build a cleaner station. From the manager menu, select build, then build one cleaner station. Try it now. Alright, so we're still in the research, so we want to go back. cleaner station is its own building by itself. It costs 3,000 and we can have 5 of them in our park. Now, the cleaner station will hire cleaners to go out and, well, clean. We need to connect it to the path. And what I like to do is kind of set the cleaning station at opposite ends of the parks. So that way, the cleaners don't have to necessarily walk across the entire park to get to where they need to be. Not bad at all. Now that you've built that station, you'll need to hire some staff. All you have to do is select the building and hire some cleaners. Just so I can sleep tonight, show me that you understand by hiring 4 cleaners. Alright, so here's our cleaning station. We can hire staff, fire staff, or jump to a cleaner. We have none employed with a maximum of 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, it's going to cost us $600 a month to keep these 4 guys employed. But they will wander around our park cleaning up. Nice one. Those cleaners will have those paths looking spotless in no time. Remember, as your park gets bigger, you will need to hire more cleaners to prevent the paths from becoming dirty. That's all for now. Back to you, Jane. Okay, the park is really coming together now. There's one more thing I gotta say about visitor comfort before we start talking about visitor entertainment. I went for a walk around the park this morning, and it left me feeling exhausted. It's easy to forget how tired your visitors must get with all that walking, especially when you're sitting comfortably back in your office. You need to build some rest areas so that your visitors will have a place to sit down and regain some energy. Go to the Build menu, select Amenities, and build 1 rest area. Alright, so, like I said, I was planning ahead a little bit. Now, rest areas are like little parks, where they can just sit down and relax. You would normally have to research this, but because this is the tutorial, it's automatically available for us. So I'm going to spin it around so that our park is right here with our kiosks and our bathrooms. Sort of like a little hub area for our guests to go for rest and food. Good work. What a lovely place for a rest area. I might go and eat my lunch there. Now that you've got your visitors feeling comfortable, you should start thinking about keeping them entertained. All of our visitors come to Jurassic Park with one thing on their mind: to see our dinosaurs. Surveys of our visitors have shown that observing dinosaurs from the path is very difficult, even through our lowest security fencing. The only way to guarantee that our visitors will see dinosaurs is by viewing them from attractions. Attractions are designed to provide Jurassic Park visitors with the perfect mix of visibility and security. You can also charge visitors for the privilege of viewing dinosaurs from your attractions. Let's build some now. Viewing platforms allow your visitors to get an elevated view of your dinosaurs. If you open the Build menu and select Attractions, you will find viewing platforms listed there. Build 4 viewing platforms now. Alright, well, I'm going to save real quick. Alright, viewing platforms. Let's do those first. Alright, an elevated observation deck allowing visitors to observe dinosaurs in safety. This is very similar to everything else we've built. The blue squares show our footprint of where we can build. Those blue triangles will show us the directions that actions take place. And the blue circles show sort of the entry point. So, for example, this tower, if we build it here, those blue squares will be where the visitors enter it. And then they can look in the relative directions of north, south, and I'm guessing that's west. Actually, it might be east, but... So we just built one there. So visitors can look up this way, they can look down that way, or they can look forward this way. And this is a good spot because look, all our Kentrosaurs are here. Let's build a few more. Let's build one way down here at the bottom. Now here's the problem. We don't have space. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to build another one here. and another one here, and we're going to connect it by a path. So there, that should be our 4 viewing platforms. Excellent. Those platforms will give your visitors a great vantage point to be able to observe the dinosaurs. Let's get some variety here. Try building 2 viewing vents. You must build these attractions onto the enclosure fences. And we'll build these over here, because our stegosaurs are just right there. So a viewing vent, like I said, has to be built into the fence. Be careful which side of the fence you build it on. Now, we do not have as much option for where to place these. They, of course, have to be built into a fence, but they have to be built into a particular fence segment. So it's either here or there, not in between. I'm going to build one right there and one right here. So that way we're kind of like real close to where the feeding is happening. Great job! Those vents are really cool because they allow visitors to appreciate the scale of your dinosaurs. You can see for yourself by selecting the vent and using the view option. Try it now. Well, we're going to go with this one.
Hello.
So we have the status where we can have the vent open or closed, how much we want to charge for it, and then what kind of vent it is. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Great.
Alright, so here's our view. I'm moving it around with the mouse. So what did you think? Would you be happy with that view if you were paying for it? It's always a good idea to check the quality of your attractions before your visitors start complaining. The quality of your attraction is very important. You can always judge how good your attractions are by looking at their entertainment scores. When you want to evaluate your attractions, you should consult the entertainment summary from the manager menu. Select reports and select the entertainment summary. Well, let's do that right now.
Thanks for stopping by.
These reports are very useful as they allow you to evaluate and compare all your attractions. The entertainment scores give you an overall rating for each of your attractions. The higher the score, the better the quality of the entertainment. Have a look now. The other important information here is the bias of your attractions. The attractions will display a bias if they are observing extreme types of dinosaur activity. For example, a viewing platform which observes a Tyrannosaurus eating will have a bias towards thrills. You can also make an attraction more tempting to different visitors by changing the name of the attraction. Let's go back to the park and experiment with bias. At the start of the tutorial, we discovered that there are different types of visitors. Mainstream visitors are easy to please as they are just happy being in Jurassic Park. Thrill seekers love seeing carnivores in action, whereas fun lovers really get a kick out of herbivores. Dino nerds want everything to be as authentic as possible. As you can see, there's an art to making visitors happy. When a visitor enters an attraction which is biased towards their visitor type, their experience will make them happier. Try changing one of your viewing events to have a thrills bias. Alright, so let's go to this one. Right now this is just a viewing vent, so it's sort of a generic bias. There's the thrills. It's 0, because there's nothing exciting going on here. And I pressed escape too quick.
Good to see you again.
But let's try playpen. Because look, there's Stegosauruses there. They're having fun. So now its score is 47. Alright, select the hatchery and create a Tyrannosaurus. Oh boy.
It's good to see you.
This is a bad idea. So let's set this one to thrills.
Don't get left out of the rain. Official Jurassic Park Gale Force umbrellas are now available.
We just got the message that the umbrellas are done. So there's Dr. Wu telling us that the weather guard is done. And if we want to, we can go back to the research center for another project. I don't believe we have any additional projects we are required to make at this point. And depending on what I'm playing, I usually have an order of research that I like to do, because not all of the upgrades are made equal. Some are really valuable at the beginning of the game, Some are kind of valuable throughout the entire game, and some are really only useful depending on how you build your park. So let's make the cash machine. Great. Looks like you made a smart decision to research those umbrellas. No one likes getting caught in the rain. Okay, now that Tyrannosaurus has emerged, notice the improvement in the entertainment score for the Thrills vent. Select Vent and observe the results. If the score is still low, you can always go into view mode to make sure they can see the Tyrannosaurus.
Thanks for stopping by.
Alright, so viewing vent is 23. That's still very good. But now thrill window is 19. Alright, that's enough about visitors for today. Remember to consult your park manager guide in the Dinopedia if you want more information on how to make your visitors happy. Okay, now it's time for safe and secure. Make your park a safe and secure experience for the whole family. Welcome back. As park administrator, it's my job to oversee security in Jurassic Park. That's not an easy job, believe me, and it only becomes more difficult when people construct parks with no thought for visitor safety. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you what I know about park security and teach you how to plan effectively for dinosaur outbreaks. If you follow my tips, it's going to make working together a lot less painful. First, I want you to check out this park. If you examine the dinosaur summary, you'll see we have a number of dangerous species on display. Do we have adequate security? Definitely not. Have a look for yourself. Alright, let's look at the reports.
Hello.
We have 1 T-Rex and 15 Velociraptors. I don't know what kind of madman exhibits a T-Rex and raptors without installing appropriate security. They sure as heck don't work here anymore. Now, the best indication you can get as to the quality of your security can be found at the security summary. Let's have a look at it now.
Greetings.
Look at that. Our security rating, it's not great. I mean, it's improving, but it's not great. And we've literally had 100% fatalities from staff and visitors. It's bad. But let's see if we can make it better. It's shocking. Numerous visitor fatalities, numerous dinosaur outbreaks, and a poor visitor security rating. I'm telling you, when a park gets this bad, InGen has no choice but to close the place down. Now, no one wants that to happen. Let's see if you can correct the errors made by the previous management. Broadly speaking, you have 2 types of security in Jurassic Park: automated systems and the Rangers. We'll talk about the Rangers later, but now let's build some automated systems around the park. Let's start by improving the quality of the Tyrannosaurus Rex enclosure. You should always use high security fencing when exhibiting dangerous dinosaurs. Simply select the fence and choose the upgrade option. Give it a try now. We did this earlier with the, the Acrocanthosaurus? So here's our Tyrannosaurus, and she is in a medium security fencing. I would say that's probably the minimum that you want. But for predators, you want high security. Now remember, when we upgrade the security of the fencing, it is upgrading everything connected to it. So you can see that even the raptor pen here is connected. So that's going to get an upgrade too. It's expensive. Great. I feel safer already now that she's behind those high security fences. The hardest thing about maintaining good security is that you will have to be watching dangerous dinosaurs all the time. Jurassic Park security cameras are connected to my office and will notify me whenever they detect rampaging dinosaurs or visitors in trouble. Please build 4 security cameras. You will find them listed under security in the build menu. Please place them in areas which allow them to absorb dangerous dinosaurs. Visitors also feel much safer when they see security cameras. Alright, so let's go to our build menu, over to security, and we have cameras. So again, our cameras have that one square for their footprint, and the arrow points to show us what direction the camera is going to be facing. Now, he said that guests like to see cameras. So if we put it here, they should be able to see it from the viewing platform. I'm going to put another one over here. That should give us good coverage of most of the T-Rex pen. Now the raptor pen is another story. We have this little area here, then sort of this hole, and then this big area. So in the big area, we're going to put a camera right here next to the viewing vent. This is going to give us pretty good coverage of most of this area. Now, I think what we're going to do is put one here-ish, sort of opposite. And this will give us good coverage of most of that area. Great, pictures are coming through now. Another good thing about security cameras is that I can see if any visitors are in trouble. Then I can send rangers to rescue them. Next, you'll need to build some avoidance beacons in this park. Avoidance beacons generate pulses of low-frequency sound which drive dinosaurs away. They are fully automated and will activate as soon as the dinosaur comes within range. Try building them now. So I don't use these very much because I usually don't build parks in a way that requires them. But they have a 1 square footprint. And let's see. If a dinosaur was to get out, we wouldn't want it over here. And we wouldn't want it over here. You should place sentry turrets in potential trouble spots where they have a clear field of fire on rampaging dinosaurs. Please build 2 sentry turrets now. Sentry turrets are another one that I really don't use very much. Now, we want clear shots of dinosaurs. So, you know, theoretically, they could get out from here, around here, or over here. But the camera only, the turret only points in one direction. So, here might be a good spot, but be careful, we don't want that building in. We don't want the buildings in the way. And then maybe here. Good work. Bear in mind that their auto-targeting system can be sluggish at times. You may need to take control during emergencies. Now let's see what our park warden has to say about the security in this park. Hello, Robert Muldoon here. You can save yourself a lot of potential problems right now. Just destroy all those raptors and hatch some gentle dinosaurs. Hello, Robert. This is meant to be a tutorial. Please help the manager out with some useful tips. Sorry. Well, my first recommendation would be to build another ranger station. The only station on this island is a long way away from the action. Please build one closer to the dinosaurs. Alright, so our one ranger station is up here. Now, it's not close, but it's really not that far. It's right behind both of the pens. So if, you know, trouble happens, they can get to them. But if trouble happens here, they have a longer trip. But if we build, say, one here, the trip is not nearly as far. That's a good start. My only other suggestion is that you should build a visitor shelter. These bunkers are nigh on indestructible. Visitors will run there when there's an emergency in the park. So if we have to set an emergency off, the guests will usually run back to the park entrance. But if we put a visitor shelter somewhere, they'll run to that as well. So where would be a good place for a visitor shelter? Well, that's a very far point from here. And here's a pretty far point. So what if we put it, let's say here-ish. Good. Rangers are dedicated to saving the lives of your visitors, but we can't be everywhere at once. It's important that visitors know that we have some safe havens for them in the park. Sorry to interrupt you, Robert, but it looks like we're going to have to put this new security system to the test. There's a bad storm coming. I think we need to prepare for the worst. This is going to be bad. You must warn your visitors and put the park in a state of emergency. Please activate emergency mode now. Alright, so we're going to declare an emergency. The park is currently open. Do you want to activate emergency mode? Yes, we do. So with emergency mode running, thank goodness you've activated the alarm. The dinosaurs are going berserk. You've got to do something before they ruin the park. Jump to a ranger helicopter and get this situation under control. So as I was saying, since it is emergency mode, everybody is leaving the attractions, either heading towards the shelter or heading to the entrance. Now we gotta take control. We have no choice. You're going to have to retire all the park's carnivores and fast. Alright, so I mentioned to you before, using the helicopter, not my favorite option. But we gotta shoot these dinosaurs. Now, in some modes, you'll have the option to, not manually, but automatically retire the dinosaurs. So you don't have to do it like this. So we got a whole bunch of raptors we need to retire. Now with little guys like raptors, I don't think it matters as much. But with big guys like a T-Rex, I think you get better results by shooting them in more vulnerable spots, like the neck or the head. Because it may take several shots to the body before you finally put a big guy down. Okay, I think the rest of them are underneath us, so let's fly back a little bit. Now, I don't know if it's my settings, I don't know if it's the mouse, I don't know if it's the age of the game. The controls here is not as responsive as I would like. Okay, all that's left is the Rex. So let's put my my comments to the test. If I shoot her in, like, the tail, it just makes her angry. She runs off. You can see that she's lost a big chunk of her health. But let's try to shoot her towards the head. Get a little closer. And, yeah, that just put her down. Wow, you're quite a hands-on manager. Some nice shooting there. Well, that was probably the most practical way to teach you about park security. If you have any further questions, consult the game manual and the Dinopedia.